The recently held Windhoek Jazz Festival headlining international artist Jonathan Butler. He now joins us here in studio. Bongani, good evening.
Good evening, Nina, and thank you for having me.
Thank you so much for being here. I've got one question only, actually, and then you can go home. Did you meet and shake Jonathan Butler's hand?
Definitely, most definitely. It was an honor and a privilege because we had the workshop on Friday.
Yeah.
And he sat in, and you could take so much from him. Hey?
Yeah.
You learned so much, yeah.
Fantastic. What was the experience like being a part of this year's Jazz Festival?
It was massive because I had done the Jazz Festival before with Susie. Such an honor, a lovely being. And this was actually me, alone.
Yeah.
And that, for me, just standing on the stage, I was like, is it really me? Is this happening? And then you get the nerves and you go on stage and you're live and you're like, wow, it's really happening.
And what songs and pieces did you perform for the audience?
Well, I had a mix of international acts. Anita Baker, you had your Lees, I had Sangomota as well. I had myself as well. So there was a mix of just all-rounders, just to make sure that you cover all fields of jazz.
Yeah. Are you primarily, a jazz artist, or would you say that you dabble in other genres as well?
I see myself as a performer. I don't limit myself, but jazz is one of those things that bit me almost 5-6 years ago. And I was like, let me put my element in it and let me make it my own story. So hence, I do all things that I can so that when I lay back, I was like, I did it all.
Yeah. Do you think that jazz is alive and well in Namibia? I know, of course, it's a genre of music that's really celebrated in other parts of the world. And of course, it seems like the only time Namibians get into jazz is when there's a jazz festival that's hosted. So do you think it's a genre of music that, Namibians appreciate, it for what it's for?
If you had seen the audience on that on that field and the hunger that we have for the love of jazz music, I definitely would say it's alive and well. It's also that thing of just appreciating the finer things of the elements of jazz, rhythm and blues, swing, the scatting and all that. So I believe it is alive and well. I also appreciate the fact that we come in our own Namibian field and bring ourselves as Namibian jazz artists.
I think it's one of those genres, it's really an acquired taste.
Very much.
It's not for everybody. Bongani, what are you busy with these days?
Well, we're looking to do live music. I've realized, you take time and you sit back and you analyze all the things that you have done. And I've realized that I'm more a live artist than a recording one. So my element of being in tune with the audience, giving my soul to them, receiving from them, that element, I believe, is what I want to do. So I don't want to do recordings anymore of albums. I'd rather go for the live session. So we're planning something live, unplugged, personal, intimate, that thing that you just want to... Let me not go into details.
And of course, there's also, live recordings that a lot of
definitely
artists do these days, where you have the interaction with the audience and it's still recorded. Yeah,
it's that one moment where you're not limited to a studio, but it's an audience that's sitting there. It's live. It's anything can happen at that moment. So it's unpredictable, but fun at the same time.
Based on your years of experience as an artist, jazz artist or otherwise, as a performer, as a creative, can you share some advice for aspiring, jazz musicians who are looking to make a name for themselves?
What I would like to say is we're Namibian. We are diverse. We are united, and we come from so many ethnic groups. The element of jazz, just in Nama, or in Oshivambo, Oshiherero, brings that unique taste of who we are. The blood that watered for us cannot be in vain if we bring ourselves and show the world that we too are Namibian artists with that acquired taste of jazz. So I'd say, come out. There's no limit to what you can do in jazz. There's no wrong in jazz. But just show who we are as Namibians in our languages so that people can appreciate it in the world out there.
Native jazz.
Definitely.
I'd love to hear something like that.
Oh, we're coming. We're coming.
Bongani, thank you so much for being our MCM, our Man Crush Monday, and thank you for joining us, and all the best with your future endeavors. I follow you on social media, and I haven't seen a Jonathan Butler picture, so you better post it, please. Because if there's no picture, it never happened.
True. too. I will.
That was BonganiSoul, who was our MCM this evening, speaking to us about his experience at the just ended Jazz Festival, which took place this weekend. We've also come to the end of tonight's program. Join us again tomorrow evening. From myself and the team, it's good night and thank you for watching.